From psychopathic clowns and murderer hiding in the shadows. Welcome to Sebastian. These are the 8 most reconciled murders in the world. Countess Elizabeth Bathory of Exed was a Hungarian aristocrat belonging to one of the most powerful families in Hungary. She has gone down in history for being accused and convicted of being responsible for a series of crimes motivated by her obsession for beauty that have earned her the nickname of the Blood Countess. Elizabeth is the woman who was killed the most in the history of humanity with 650 deaths. Number 2. Jack the Ripper is the most name given to an unidentified serial killer who is credited with at least 5 homicides in the London neighborhood of Whitechapel in 1888, and whose modus operandi was characterized by cuts in the throat, mutilations in the genital and abdominal areas, extirpation of organs, and disfigurement of the face of women who were engaged in the prostitution. In the middle of the 19th century, the East End of London was overpopulated and its quality of life was wretched. The situation worsened with the proliferation of lower-class neighborhoods with marked rates of poverty, violence, alcoholism, and prostitution. Number 3. John Wayne Grace Jr., also known as Pogo Pogo. The Clown or the Killer Clown was an American serial killer who raped and killed 33 young men between 1972 and 1978. Of his victims, 26 were buried in the same his own house, another 3 in the other place of the house, and 4 others were thrown to a nearby river. He was called the Killer Clown because he did social service in the parents and children's parties dressed as a clown. He called himself Pogo the Clown, a character he created himself. Number 4. Albert Fish was a serial killer and American cannibal. He is also known as the Gray Man, Western werewolf, and possible as the vampire of Brooklyn. He claimed to have sexually abused more than 100 children and was suspected of at least 5 murders. Fish confessed to 3 homicides that police were able to investigate to find the homicide and confessed to stabbing at least 2 more people. He was subject to a resounding trial for the murder of Grace Bath, convicted and executed. Number 5. Andrei Romanovich Chikatilo was a serial killer and Ukrainian cannibal. Chikatilo is considered the worst serial killer in the history of the Soviet Union. He was known as the Butcher of Rostov, the Red Reaper and Rostov Reaper who committed sexual assault, murder and mutilation of at least 15 women and children between 1978 and 19 in Soviet Russia, Soviet Ukraine, and Soviet Uzbekistan. Chikatilo confessed to a total 56 murders and was tried to 33 of them in April. In April, he was convicted and sentenced for 32 deaths in October 1992 and was subsequently executed in February 1994. Number 6. Charles Mills Manson. Is a famous American criminal and musician, known for leading what became known as the Manson family, a group of Manson fans who emerged in the California desert from in the 1971. He was convicted of conspiracy to commit the murders of 7 people, actress Sharon Tate, and 4 others at Tate's Beverly Hills home. And the next day, a marriage, Leno and Rosemary LaBianca, all carried out by the members of the group, who followed instructions from Manson. His followers murdered different people at other times and places. And Manson was also found guilty of 2 of these other murders, the murders of Gary Hinman and Donald Shorty Shea. Number 7. Police officers investigating the number 17 in November 17, 1957. Disappearance of Bernice Wonder, owner and employee of the Painfield hardware store, suspected that Ed Jane was involved in the case. When they entered his house, they found the naked body of Wonder hanging from the ankles, decapitated, opened by the torso, and gutted. Among other macabre finds, they also found the skulls that had been removed from the top to serve as bowls and ashtrays, lampshades, and seats made of human skin. So the dishes made with skulls on the posts of his bed, Bernice organs in the refrigerator, a bale of human nipples, a show books with the knife vulvas, and many more objects made from parts of human bodies.